And you, so Dak and Zeke, two Cowboy players, came out vociferously in support of Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, which is interesting. A lot of people dislike the Cowboys, and it used to be you dislike the Cowboys because they were excellent. There were a lot of teams that have won so much, like the Lakers, the Yankees, and the Cowboys. They embody a certain spirit, and even though people aren't from those areas, those are like if you'll find basketball Laker players, fans everywhere. You'll find Cowboy fans everywhere. You'll find Yankees fans everywhere. The Cowboys used to embody excellence. Now they embody the indifference white people have always had toward black people. Now it's ironic that Jerry Jones refuses to let his players protest the anthem because he didn't have an aversion to supporting players that beat women. Greg Hardy or Zeke Elliott right now, who beat women and were suspended or accused of beating women who were suspended. We have any number of Cowboys that have had drug problems and drug charges. He didn't have any problem with it. He didn't have a problem that we have Cowboy greats that had one or two wives come up missing under dubious circumstances. Nobody says anything about that. He supports Papa John, catching him saying nigga or not, because he is what America is, and that's always indifferent to the suffering of black people. That's just always what's been. Now, people who are saying to me, politics and protest has no place in football. Did those same people say that when they hired Rush Limbaugh to be an announcer for NFL? They did it at all. It's not unusual for young bucks or for masters and owners to let their young bucks do whatever they want as long as they don't speak against them. They're pride bucks. They let them do whatever they want. You can beat women. You can drive. You can kill people. You can do whatever. Just don't speak up. Don't be an example that other people can follow. The Cowboys are what America is, indifferent toward black people's suffering. That's what they've always been. That's what America's always been, indifferent toward the cries of injustice and racism against black people. They've always done it. And for people that say, this is not the place of the time, the only time black people have white people's attention is when we're entertaining them. The only time they ever imagine getting millions of white people to look at black people or listen to black people do anything that isn't jumping, running, laughing, singing, or joking. They only pay attention to us when we're doing something they like. So there's no better time to have a conversation. The only time they'll ever hear us is when we're talking or doing something they like. That's just the truth. And the only way you're going to bring attention to something is when you got their rapt attention. And the only time you got their attention is when you're shining for them. That's the truth. Now, I find it ironic that the star on the Dallas Cowboys helmet epitomizes everything about America. They're called America's team, but that same star is a star that slave catchers wore. That's the star they wore. And the same star is the star that sheriffs wear. And the same star is a star that Cowboys wear. All of them have an indifference toward the suffering of black people. All of them have exhibited. The reason that people are protesting right now, like Zeke Elliott talked about, Dak talked about how football has given you peace. Well, let's see in about 12 years when your brains are scrambled and you're a big dude who's addicted to drugs or addicted to painkillers and you don't remember your name and you have an episode in the middle of a restaurant or in your home and the police come and don't remember who you are. And then you're dealt. Then we'll see if the same justice or the same peace you enjoy on the field you enjoy. Black men and people of color do not get to enjoy peace. Even some of your own brethren were stopped, in Vegas. Michael Bennett got stopped in Vegas. He could have got killed. But it's not just about you. I understand you want to make your money. You could have said nothing, but you chose to speak for the master. You chose to speak for the master. And I say this, it's perfect that two players who would speak up for the Cowboy owners. At least you got the boy part right. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming every 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.